And we are live. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Depending on where you're joining us, good afternoon, good morning, good day. We're going to go live on. Hold on.
Well, we're live.
Yeah,
Hey,
hold on.
everybody. How's it going? Happy Sunday.
Oh, dear.
Back at it again.
Yeah, believe it or not, yeah, there's an echo. Mm.
Oh, you have an echo on your end?
Yes, there's an echo. Do you hear it? You don't hear it?
No,
Okay, so I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
hear an echo.
You hear it?
No,
No?
nope. I don't hear an echo at all.
Okay. But go ahead and keep going. Let me turn it off. Let me find out. I think I
Okay,
can.
because I don't hear an echo. Well, welcome to Moms for Trans Kids. Happy Sunday, y'all. It's good to see y'all this Sunday. What's been going on? What is good with you? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? So many things to talk about. Now, just so you know, while Dr. Lulu is working through some technical
I
difficulties,
love it. Yes.
I am not going to be able to bring my very over eccentric a voice because I am recovering maybe in the middle of a little cold. So this cold is trying to defeat me, but y'all know how I am. This cold is trying not to allow me to be great. But nonetheless, it's all about showing up and making sure that you stand firm and look something in the face. And it's cold is what I'm looking in the face, y'all. So anyway, so hopefully y'all had a great week. Dr. Lulu and I have so many amazing things to talk to you about since our parents supporting parents conference in Atlanta, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Um, Dr. Lulu, you still have some of that jollof rice?
I think we can just go ahead because it's happening live, and it's just gonna have to be. Hopefully, the echo is only on my end. If y'all can hear me on Instagram, I have a couple of people on Instagram. Y'all could show. Let me know if you can get echo. If you don't, let me know.
It's
But
only on your
yeah,
end because I can't hear it.
okay, super. It's coming from Instagram, so as long as someone on Instagram can, they don't hear the echo. They will. So I have okay, super. All right, my love. So we are, of course, back from our first ever mom supporting parents supporting parents conference.
Yes.
So Ellen, first of all, let me say thank you for coming because that was just amazing for
Oh
you
my
to come and
gosh.
support your sister. So tell me, why did you decide to come and how was the experience for you?
Well, I have really wanted to make sure that I am being visible and being diligent in my visibility and my advocacy for supporting other parents and also making sure that I show up and supporting trans kids, particularly Black trans kids. It's something about the visibility component, as a Black queer mom, as we are Black queer moms. It's
I think
something.
I am most I am just most grateful that you came. So that's the first thing because as you know, I put the word out there. You spent your dime and came on your dime. So I wanted to give those space for that. But also I want to say thank you to everyone who showed up.
Mm,
Because a lot of people came that I didn't think everyone was going to show up. I don't know why I keep thinking that way, but I didn't think everybody was going to show up. And then people came. There was a bunch of people that came. Food was good. The drums were good. The conversation was amazing. Oh my God. What did you think about the guests and the commercial? You are on the parent panel. What did you think about that?
oh my gosh. The parent panel was so great. I mean, just to see and to hear a different journey from each one of us was so valuable. Everybody has a different journey. Everyone's journey is definitely not the same. So hearing that and listening to so many different stories, I know resonated with somebody. And that was really important. That was such a big takeaway. Such a big takeaway. And that jollof rice was everything.
Oh my God. Look, the jollof rice. Even though, y'all, by the way, I want you to meet my co-host who is a vegan, a vegan, and was able to eat the jollof rice, and then we had other things, Nigerian eat, finger food, comfort food. We had a lot of things, but I think for me, my best part was the drums.
Hmm.
The drums. So we had dancing with the drums, and then we had a healing circle at the end, and we had like drums in the background. It was so like it just took me back home. That was so good.
The healing circle was just so good. Yeah, it was great. It
So
was
anyway, we're saying all this so that if
great.
you hear what we're saying and you're a parent of a grandchild, where is the next event, Miss?
Well, we need to try to have the next event. I'm gonna always say Los Angeles. That's what I'm always gonna say.
So what the first quarter of next year definitely we're gonna bring um definitely the next quarter because this sister here is not gonna let me have events without her in her place. So if you live in LA, if you live in California, really, period. California is a whole country. Stay tuned because we're going to start as soon as the first of the year turns around. We're going to start doing that, and it's going to be amazing. So if you know anyone who lives in LA area, California area, or any of the surrounding states, or really anywhere in the country, and they're a parent of a trans child or a parent of a queer child, tell them about the event because
Yes.
after the inauguration, we don't know what this country is going to be.
Yeah. Yeah. So true. We don't know. We just have to keep moving forward, keep putting resources in place, keep having conversations, keep showing support. Um, I do know that California Los Angeles specifically has coined themselves as one of the spaces that's a safe haven space for LGBTQ plus individuals
And immigrants, yes.
and immigrants. Yep. So really excited about, happy about that. I know people have their feelings about our governor, but Gavin Newsom is definitely been one to err on the right side of doing things that protects all people, not just some people. So I'm really glad that that is something that's been initiative here in Los Angeles. So hopefully
Yeah.
people
And
will
you know,
feel that.
talking about government, not that we want to discuss politics, but let's talk about the elephant in the room and get it out of the way.
Let's talk about the
So
elephant in
my
the room.
co-host is very disturbed and very perturbed about something that happened in the Capitol recently with the first transgender woman that was voted democratically into office, and is basically they're coming for her. Helen, take it away because this is the fight that I know you want to fight. So
Yeah,
let's
one of our U.S. representative elect, first trans woman in Congress, Sarah McBride, is on the battlegrounds, on the front battlegrounds at the Capitol with Nancy Mace, who's a U.S. representative. Unfortunately, Nancy Mace has made it very clear that she feels that no trans people, particularly trans women, belong in uh, or are able to or should be able to use the bathrooms that are appropriate to who they are. And I want to say this, I still have yet to hear about a trans person, first of all, that has violated anybody. Let's start there. Okay. But I also want to say that there's so much of the hypocrisy that's happening because the same agenda that Nancy Mace has, she sits in and aligns herself with people who are predators,
who we know are known
who we
predators.
are known predators.
We
The
know have court cases. Some of them
have
are
court cases. I would like to see somebody pull up court cases on Sarah McBride. I'll wait. So you have, of course, the person that was unfortunately elected into office yet again, who has known to be a predator and has aligned himself with other predators and violating not only women but young girls. And we also, he has also appointed people, particularly one Matt Gaetz, who is a child predator. So I don't want to hear about anybody's traumas or they're using that as the scapegoat. And I want to be very clear. This is not about me shaming anybody, any woman who's a victim of any type of assault, sexual assault. But however, you cannot be so concerned on one side of the aisle and yet turn a blind eye to on the other. Let's be very
And
clear about that.
blatant. Oh my God.
Where was this energy when you were supporting somebody who has been known to grab people by the pee, who has been known to go behind the contestants in the contestants with the pageant contest and
Yes.
go behind and inspect the women? Let's be
Yes.
very clear. Where were you when Matt Gaetz has all of these allegations of not only paying for sexual whatever with women, but is a child predator? Where
And he's a
where where is your
convicted child predator. Like,
where is your fury in all of that? Where is that? So again, if that is your stance, madam, then your stance needs to be across the board. Let's
across
let's
the board.
let's be very clear. But on the same time, this not only this and this kind of funnels me into this comment, Dr. Lulu. When you are battling and you are making trans women your target, you are making women
All
your
women.
target.
How did I know you were going to say that? All women, cis
You're making
and
all women
trans.
your target. I don't cis, hetero, gay, lesbian, all women. I don't ever want to be in a position where somebody attacks me because they question me in my womanhood or they question me in being a female or they question me and I have short hair. So, oh, are you because this has been such a push. Um just as much as we don't want trans women attacked, people don't recognize that this affects all women.
All of us, including the woman who is pointing fingers. I don't want to say her name. I don't care about her name. Including the woman who is pointing fingers. It's always been the case. Anything that's against trans women is against all women. But they don't want to hear it. This is what happened when people went and voted, and they voted who they voted in, and then they started crying and crying white tears.
Mm,
Listen, when you make your bed, you're going to have to lie on it. It's
hmm.
going to come back and bite her. I
Yeah,
am a victim. I was rather a victim of sexual assault more than once in my childhood, in my adulthood. So I'm not here to say anything nice about being sexually assaulted, but also the person who you're, there's only one person in the entire Capitol building that we know that is out and trans, which of course I have my doubts about that, but still, there's only one person, and now you want to change the whole rule. For the next 4 years, America is just going to be a very interesting um, item to observe.
yeah.
But I mean, we wanted to give her 2 minutes of fame on the show. The show is not about transphobes. It's never about transphobes. It's about celebrating trans joy, as a matter of fact. But we have one of our
Absolutely.
trans children, in quotes, suffering. So, of course, it makes sense to mention it. One other thing that happened last week, if you want to talk about it, is Transgender Day of Remembrance. How did you celebrate? How did Nico celebrate that?
You know, I think that we, for the first time, Dr. Lulu, I think that we just really bounced off of our own energy. We didn't want to
Mm,
really be too public. I think we just wanted to kind of sit in our own existence and sit in our own space and have an opportunity to just love on each other and just really connect with each other. I think that we definitely are preparing ourselves for whatever this shift is going to be. So
mm,
we just wanted to kind of maybe have more of maybe just some private time and just recognizing the importance of advocacy and education just within our own social circles and our own space. You know, I'm always going to
mm,
be the one that's always going to speak to or advocate or talk about how important um, our trans community needs to be seen and needs to be supported. But it's just we're still trying to get some footing, and that's not a bad thing. I think sometimes when there's trauma that happens at any level, you need to kind of, sometimes it's just sitting still and getting some footing and just resetting. And so I think that's just what we've done, and
Yeah.
honoring and recognizing the many trans people that we hold in spirit, as well as um, supporting outwardly. So that's where we were.
Um, and so, because we're talking about transit, for those of you who do not know, November 20th of every year, so mark it on your calendars, November 20th of every year is Trans Day of Remembrance. So we have a comment here from Monique. Hi, Monique. Monique is saying, we appreciate your support and love. Thank you so much, my love. So November 20th is national, maybe international Trans Day of Remembrance. There's another day that's called Trans Day of Visibility, which is March 31st. But November 20th is Trans Day of Remembrance. It's a day that is set aside. I wish we didn't have that day, because
Mm,
that means, we're not, I mean, it's set aside to remember, commemorate, celebrate the lives of trans people that have been lost. And I wish we didn't have that day, but we do. Um, Innocent lives that have been taken
mhm.
too soon, way too soon. So I
Yeah.
attended an event here in Atlanta for Trans Day of Remembrance for the Latinx community, and I was just blown away when they were calling the names of the people. The youngest person was 14 and the oldest was 54. I
Mm,
just could not believe that someone, a
mm,
54-year-old that is just really just retiring, about to retire, who is making it their business to take their lives? I mean,
mm,
how? One of the
mm,
things that
mm,
Jesse Marsh said on Instagram was, "You voted, you won, you got all the things that you got. So why are you still, why is their presence still aggravating? Why is it still bothering you? You
right.
already got what you wanted." So in the spirit of that, and I couldn't find my reading glasses. I'm going to do my very best to read the names. But these my new glasses. Oh God, I can't see. So the names of the people that they called out at the event. San Antonio, no, Santonio San Coleman was a 48-year-old Black trans woman. Honey Daniels, 37-year-old Black trans woman. Kasim Omar, 29-year-old Black trans woman. Red, aka Barbie, 25 years Black trans woman. Vanity Williams, 34-year-old Black trans woman. Tavion Lathan, 24-year-old Black trans woman. Monique Brooks, 49-year-old Black trans woman. Kenji Spurgeon, 23-year-old Black trans woman. Shannon Boswell, 30-year-old Black trans woman. Polly Lickens, 14-year-old trans girl. Liara Tsai, 35-year-old white trans woman. Jaslyn Johnson, 18-year-old trans girl. Yella Robert Clark Jr., 45-year-old Black trans woman. Michelle Henry, 25-year-old Black trans woman. Brandon TDOR Thomas, 17-year-old trans girl. Reina Hernandez, 54-year-old Latine trans woman. Star Brown, Black trans woman. Sasha Williams, 36-year-old multiracial trans woman. T. Legend Billions Arnold, 36-year-old Black trans man. Africa Parila Garcia, 25-year-old Latine trans woman. Merajes Medina, 24-year-old Latine trans woman. Alex Taylor Franco, 21-year-old trans man. Diamond Brigman, 26-year-old Black trans woman. Righteous TK Chevy Hill. I actually know this
Mm,
one in Atlanta here, a barber.
mm,
35-year-old trans man, Black trans man. Kitty Monroe. That one hurt. 43-year-old Latine trans woman. Andrea Doria dos Passos, 37-year-old trans woman. Riva Nevea Goddard, 17-year-old non-binary person. Kita B, 46-year-old trans woman. Dylan Gurry, 20-year-old trans woman. This is just this one list. This is just this one list. There's next Benedict, whose name wasn't mentioned, for instance. I mean, I'm just saying it's not even exhaustive. But how many of them were not Black trans women? How many of them were not Black trans men? This is what we're talking about. These people's lives matter. These are human beings just like you and I.
Mm-hmm.
A 14-year-old trans child will not see their 15th birthday because they are trans. This is what I was talking about in one of the podcast interviews that I was in. As long
Mm-hmm.
as a child recognizes that they are trans and hold on to their identity and don't tell anybody, they are safe. The very first day they open their mouth and say something about their trans identity,
Their
they
life is
become,
at
they become a
risk.
target.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, as a mother of a trans woman, that calling that list triggered me in every which way.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what to do except to, at this moment, just hold a moment of silence, maybe a minute of silence for those of us who are here who are listening. If you have any names, you can call them as you hear them, as you wait for a moment of silence, and just to think about the souls of these beautiful human beings that will just not see their next birthday. So we're going to start the minute of silence now. So that was 1 minute of silence. Thank you all so much for joining us. Monique just called, just put a name down. Monique says Michelle Henry. This is what we're talking about. These are human beings. Monique, thank you so much for sharing, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
These are human
Mm-hmm.
beings. These are people, real people that were alive a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, and now they are no longer here. If you've never lost a child before, you don't know what it's like to lose a child. One of the things that they say, one of the most painful losses in the whole wide world is the loss of a child. These days,
Mm-hmm.
they mention that people's children, they're people's brothers and sisters, siblings, nibblings, all of the above. They're human beings just like you. So
Mm-hmm.
please, we're asking y'all, for those of us who are parents of trans kids, we're asking y'all to please spare our children's lives. They have done nothing to you. Mind your own business, leave our kids alone. I mean, I cannot, I just can't. I cannot, I just can't.
Yeah. It's really unfortunate because I don't understand how, this is just such a replay of what America has been to many people, whether indigenous people, whether people that were brought over, whether people or marginalized communities. You know, we are trans people are now the target.
Yeah,
Um, and it's just it's such a replay of what America does. When they want to fixate and focus on a group of people, here we go again.
yeah.
And at the end of the day, we're human beings. Everybody's a human being. So, you know, putting the uh, putting the emphasis on trans people and fear mongering and all of these other things is a distraction from the things that you need to put emphasis on.
Yes, as if America doesn't have enough problems, as if America doesn't have any other problems except to focus on a tiny, and even the Democrats, I'm going to go there for a minute. Even the Democrats are disappointing me now. Just
Hmm.
pretending that the trans people are the reason they lost. Are you serious? Like, how many people in percentage wise that we know of are out and trans? Are you serious now that that's what really cost you your election? Like,
Well,
Just stop.
it's
Just stop. Just stop.
it's just like Dr. Lulu when they say the Constitution of Marriage it was destroyed by same sex relationships. Well,
Yes.
here's part of what they don't tell you. What they didn't tell you is that same sex marriages and relationships were not factored into this census.
From day one.
So I don't so stop with this rhetoric of oh it's this or it's that. When you talk about the Constitution of Marriage, Elon Musk and Donald Trump has 17 children in between both of them and multiple wives. So this is not about the Constitution of Marriage and mother and father in the home. Let's be very clear. That's not
Yes.
what this is about.
But that's a good point that I've not thought about. And I want to take a moment to give a shout out to Jade Lenore Ladoff, a beautiful trans woman that I met, I think it was last year at the Black Trans Advocacy Coalition conference that they had in Texas. So hello, Jade. Jade was giving us a high, saying hello earlier on. And then Monique says trans people are now the target. It's a foreshadow of what's to come for other marginalized communities who feel unseen. The same thing that we're talking about when you attack trans women, you attack all women. It's not because some people don't look, quote unquote, don't look trans. How do you know who is trans? Now they want to check everybody's underwear. So who is the pervert? Who is the pervert? Oh my God. I'm tired. Who is the perv?
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. And they want to put the unfortunate part is that society wants to put emphasis on what a woman should look like, or is she too masculine, does she have too many, is she have a masculine build, does she doesn't have enough estrogen, does she have too much testosterone and all these other things, is her hair not a certain way, is her face a little too defined, all of these things that counter what people think a woman should look like. And it's just really unfortunate because again, this is an attack on all women. So I'm going to say to Sarah McBride, you know what, Sarah, stay in the fight, girl, because it's going to be a fight. And I can imagine you being there, but stay firm and in the fight because listen, what people are saying and how people are moving and how people are showing you who you are, you at least get to see in your face who they are so you know how to move accordingly. So take that information and stay in the fight for so many of our children, for so many of the people who we love, our trans community. Just stay in the fight. I know it's a lot. I know you might feel like being at that level, you are definitely by yourself, but you're not. So stay in it.
Yeah. And with all due respect to Sarah and white women, we must go there. But here's a Black woman here who is actually sending so much love to Sarah. How many white women have done that? How many white women? Because the person who is coming for Sarah is another white woman.
Is another white woman.
It's another white woman. So this is the thing about this eating your own kind. Autophagy is what they call it, autophagy, or whatever in medicine. When you eat your own kind, that's what's happening. That's what America is doing. You would think, I mean, obviously, Black people have no power because we can't really have systemic racism. But you would think maybe a white man maybe will come for it. No, it's another white woman who's coming for Sarah. That is such a shame, such a big shame. I want to read the comments from Jade here. Jade says, I truly see it as a distraction indeed, but by design. While people are focused on trans folks, legislation passes on all the things that they want to push through. You know what? I agree with you. I even want them to pass all the legislation. That's why that picture, have you seen that picture where the Black women are sitting on the high rises and smoking and drinking and just chilling while the country is burning? That's what's going to happen because we're done. We're not saving anybody anymore. Yeah, we're going to send some strength to Sarah. No problem, because this is not a show about hatred. But it's time for us to just fold our hands and just,
And that's what it is. It is so much other. It is
ahead.
so many other distractions, and you all are being fooled into thinking you're being pigeonholed into thinking this focus on one thing, on one thing that is not affecting anybody.
That's not affecting anybody.
It's not affecting anybody.
Somebody who is trans, how is that affecting the price, like literally the price of gas? like literally the inflation. Meanwhile, since we're talking about politics, what is Brother Biden doing? Hello? What's going on? I don't like to talk about politics for this reason because I
Yeah.
just it just messes the whole
Yeah.
thing up.
It's a
Jade
lot.
says, right, I've had so many of my cis women friends experience hate and discrimination
Mhm.
just because of how they show up in the world.
Yep.
I think it's time for Jade to come on the show. Jade and Monique, what do you think?
Yeah.
Jade and Monique, y'all need to come on this show anytime
Hmm.
soon because you
Yep.
have some amazing insights. But this is true. I mean, you can't come. I don't know anything about whenever the Jews were being attacked. I don't know much about that, but you can't come for those who have blue eyes. There'll be light blue, there'll be dark blue. So what shade of blue? Yeah, you're going to end up getting everyone. That's what's
Hmm.
happening to all of us now. So some of us that have plans of moving, we're going to go ahead with our plans to move because,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, we're at the bottom of the hour. The show is called Moms, the number 4 Trans Kids
Number
podcast.
4.
We love for y'all to please ask us any questions that you have. If you have any questions, we will usually have a guest on the show with us. The month of November, for some reason, I lost the calendar. I don't know how it vanished. So we had no guests. But beginning next week, the month of December, no, not next week, whenever
Is that
December,
this
the
one?
first Sunday,
Yeah.
yeah, we're going to be back to having our guests again. So stay tuned for guests. But I would really love to have um, Jade and Monique come on the show. And Jade and Monique are
Mhm.
showing out on LinkedIn right now. For those of you on Instagram, I have Peer Tree Family, I have M. Low Howard, Shani, Lade, Danielle, Official Axel Sword, Lady Omega Supreme, Official Axel Sword sent us some love. Right back at you, baby. That Scala 86, Mama Fox Kitties, Jay Psych, all of y'all, we see y'all. If you have any questions, please ask the questions. We're Mama Beast over here. We truly do not give a fuck. We're just here to talk about our kids, to love our kids, and
Mhm.
to hold space for other people who are being, because Black women are not very far ahead, as you know. We're not very far ahead of Black trans women. We're, Black cis women rather are not too far ahead of Black trans women. We're right there in the dungeons with Black trans women.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, the
Yeah.
country that just will not stop taking from us. Take. I'm talking about taking. I don't
Yeah.
even want to talk about the experience that we had over the weekend about people that just feel that they can just come and take from Black women. Monique says, "Ha, I'll be down." All right, Monique. All right, Monique.
Yay.
And then
Yes.
Jade says, "Let's make it happen, dearest." Very good. So that's what's going to happen. We're going to make the show. We're going to make it happen. Listen, I'm up for adoption. Jade is up for adoption. Okay, Jade is looking for a mama beast. All right, Jade, we hear you. We are definitely Jade. We should appear together. Yes, yes. So I think we'll make it happen. So Monique and Jade, stand by. The next time I have like no guests or some kind of drama with guests, I'm calling y'all. So please be on standby. I'm happy to have y'all. We're definitely happy to have y'all. Jade says we need adopt a Black trans woman journey to fiscal. I mean, that's true. We need
Yeah.
an adopt a Black trans woman day, even. That's a
Yeah.
good one. So I'll see. Actually, you know what? I found out how to get a day. All you have to do
Mm.
is write to the Congress. So maybe we should do that. We should start a campaign of adopt a
Oh,
Black
that'd
trans.
be a good idea.
Yeah. I don't think there's any day happening on March 11th. That's my birthday. So I'll see if I can adopt a Black. We need so many signatures and then it's done. That's
Yeah.
it.
That's a good
So, all
idea.
right, Jade, you just planted some seeds. Adopt a Black trans woman day is loading. We'll see. I'll look into it and see if we can make it happen. So, but since we're on the second half of the show, Ellen, how are you doing with work, with all the events that we have planned coming up? How are you
You
doing?
know,
How
I
excited
am
are you?
just I think my body after I left the parents supporting parents conference, I think my body was just like, okay, now it's time to sit down. When your body tells you it's time to sit down, so that's what I have been doing. I went to bed early yesterday. Actually I went to bed. Today is Sunday. It doesn't even feel like a Sunday. I went to bed early on Friday. I stayed in the bed all day yesterday. Stayed in the bed all this morning, and just wanted to get some rest and just drinking a lot of fluid. So
Yeah,
so it's just I'm trying to just kind of get back to being myself, but um no, the conference, I still, oh my gosh, I still have it, just all of the things, the conversations and meeting the people and hearing the stories and the guests. The community panel was amazing.
the community panel, yes. So for those of you who do not know, on November 15th, we had our first ever Parent Supporting Parents mini conference. We had 31 people in attendance. So I call it mini, but 30 is the official sample size for statistics. So actually, that was a statistically significant event. That
Hmm.
said, we had two panels. We had a parent panel and then a community panel. And my beautiful sister here, Ellen, was part of the parent panel where we just talked about their parenting journey and any ups and downs and how they support their kids and how they show up as allies and then how they harness their parenting joy. So
Hmm.
Ellie, we're going to come to that in a minute. And then we had a community panel where we had a pastor, we had someone from the legislative angle, we had a doctor, we had a right, and then we had, yeah, I think that was it, four
That was
people.
it. Hmm.
Yeah. Mhm. And they just talked about how they show up as affirming members of the community and how they show up
Hmm.
for trans people and cis people, really. Because if you're showing up for the marginalized, you're also showing up for those who think they're not marginalized.
Hmm.
So the next thing we have coming up is the first quarter, we're going to be showing up in LA. So if you are in LA and you're a parent of a queer child, you're a parent of a trans kid, or you're queer yourself, stand by because Ellen is going to be doing most of the work as far as finding the place. So
Yeah.
once we find the location, we're going to make flyers and start selling tickets, and that's it. Because March will come before we know it. But what we want to do is we want to hear from y'all. What questions do you have for parents? What kind of panels do you want to see? What kind of conversations do you want us to be having in these spaces? My plan is to do one in LA, do one in New York, do one in Miami, Florida, and then come back to Atlanta and then rinse and repeat. And if you have any place that you want us to come, maybe Chicago, let us know and we'll make sure that we make it happen. Ellen, what are your thoughts?
Now, Chicago, listen, Dr. Lulu, if we go to Chicago, we are not going to Chicago in the wintertime.
Ah, we're not going. No, we're going to
Chicago,
go to Chicago in June,
Chicago, we're gonna come to you in the spring. Okay.
spring or June or summer actually.
No, I think
I've,
that's amazing. I think it's great that we are establishing these mini conferences, and they're now going to many cities outside of Atlanta. Atlanta, I consider Atlanta our test city, our
yes,
test
it was like, and
run.
it was successful in Atlanta.
Is very successful. So I think that this would be really good, just to move about the country and to have these conversations, these bigger conversations, and to really counter all of the things that people are hearing from a social media side of things. It's good to continue to speak to how we're educating, speak to advocacy, speak to how we're supporting trans people, um, along with, particularly Black trans people, Black trans kids. So I
Mhm.
think that it'll be good. And, I mean, really excited about, just LA having its day to have these open discussions and, some partnerships I feel, I know that are going to be in place out here. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a major grassroots. I think what we could do, if for those of you who are listening, just send me an email. Our email is momsfortranskids@gmail.com. If you have any dates that you would like to suggest, I'm going to let Ellen pick a date. So because I know once we pick a date, then we can now start looking for location. So Ellen, this is your location. I'm going to ask you to pick a date,
Okay.
and we don't have to do that right now, but we'll let y'all know if we have a date next weekend because that's kind of how we start planning. Once you finish one, start planning the other one, and
Yeah.
then finish that one, start planning the other one. So I'm really excited about it. We have a comment here from Monique. Monique lives in San Francisco. Says yes, I will be there for LA. Yay! So for
Yay.
y'all who don't know, Monique is my reluctant virtual assistant. Hi, I'm my executive assistant. Excuse me,
Mhm.
my reluctant executive assistant. Monique is busy doing all kinds of things bigly, and she's able to join us, and she joins us when she can. So Monique is going to help us plan. All right, so
Yay.
Ellen, you got help. You got a helper right now.
Yay. And you had
And
you
Monique
had
does a lot of things with the community grassroots. This is the kind of what she does already. So yeah, that'll be her jam. All right, Monique, you are hired to help us plan the event
and Dr. Lulu, you had guests here that were from California. They live in Central California. The
Oh
the
yes,
trans
yes.
male and his wife
Yes, 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 yes. So
definitely
we're
will be
gonna have,
putting the
we
burn
already
in
have a
there.
bunch. I have a lot of people now that I haven't. And actually, what I could do is I could go over the list of guests that we've had and find all the ones, because I know Dawn is in LA, I think, I don't
Hmm.
know, and a couple of other people who have come who are in California. So we'll just contact them so that they know that we're coming. I think it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be
Yeah.
huge. Monique and Jade, if y'all are still there, any thoughts about the event that we're having? We would like to maybe include a trans panel. That's something that we didn't do this time around. Let me write that down, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Either a
And I
trans
have a
panel
and I'm
or a queer panel.
fortunate enough to be connected to a number of trans individuals here. So you in my home turf. So yeah, girl.
Yeah, and also we did it for I don't know 3 hours here in Atlanta. It's going to be either half a day or a whole day in LA. Maybe half a day, maybe not quite a whole day yet because we're paying for the space. But maybe definitely half a day
Yeah,
to give
half a
us
day I
enough
think would be
time.
good.
Yeah, so 11 to 5 or 11 to 6 kind of thing, or something like that, so that we can have more meaningful, longer time
Hmm.
to have the conversation, maybe 1 hour each, and then also just allowing more people to mingle and find community and all that. So I'm really, really, I'm happy to hear.
Yeah.
Let me see. We're getting some great ideas. So Monique says, haha, I'm excited for the West Coast
Hmm.
thing. Yes, absolutely. The West Coast or LA will be amazing. And then Monique also says that a trans panel will be extremely impactful. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's done. So we have so far the parent panel always,
Always.
the community panel always, and then the trans panel now, and maybe because of Nico, a youth panel. I always want to hear voices of our children, like
Yeah.
obviously our 5-year-old,
Youth,
um,
young adult would be
yeah, but
good.
youth, young adult, and then so that'll be the youth, young adult will be a mix of queer, gender non-binary, and all that, and
Hmm.
then the trans panel will be maybe adults to young adults, and maybe even trans parents to come and share what their experience is like being a parent of being a trans person and then a parent of a queer child or
Yeah.
something like that. I think that would be
I think the trans parents, along with their young adult, so I think a trans parent with their child or their teenagers sitting
mhm, mhm,
with them on the panel, that would be
mhm.
great.
Yeah.
So that way that they can share their story simultaneously, and I think that'll be a
Oh,
good
that would be
idea.
awesome. That would be beautiful. And
Mhm.
if we can get people to, oh my God, we're planning. This is it. We're planning it already, sis. This is it. Oh, I'm so excited about this. Great if we can just get one parent and their kid, great. But I think
Yeah.
once we put the feelers out and say who we're looking for, almost like a casting call kind of thing, we'll get people. We'll get people.
Oh
I'm
yeah, we
excited.
will. Of
I'm
course we
excited.
will.
So yeah, what you got coming up for the rest of the week? I'm excited. I have two major announcements, so I'll let you go
I
first.
know. Listen, you asking me questions, and I'm like, wait a second. I need to ask you what you got coming up because I know you
Okay,
always
ask
got
me.
something.
Okay, ask me.
I know you always got something brewing, Dr. Lulu.
I know, honey.
What
So
you
believe
got?
it or not, I just got off the phone before I came here. I got off the phone, and I know you already know a little bit about this with this huge LGBT friendly coffee place called Cat's Cafe.
Hmm.
And they said yes to my proposal to have a queer variety night.
Oh,
And
good.
your girl is going to be hosting a queer variety night either once
Yes, I
a
love
month,
it.
maybe once a week. And I'm already planning out the things I'm gonna be doing. We're gonna have an open mic. We're gonna have a little bit of teaching because you know me, I always want to teach about something that people don't know. And then we're gonna have an interview part. So yes, that's what you were talking about.
That's
It might be you
good.
and Nico might be the first guest on the. We're gonna have a couch. People are gonna
Okay.
sit on the couch and they're gonna be interviewed by yours truly. And then after maybe 30 minutes of interviewing, then we have some variety, maybe halfway through the show, somebody come and does
Mm.
the variety and then back again. And then we do a little bit of teaching and everybody goes. But he says I can have 6 to 8 p.m., 2 solid hours of me, myself, and I.
Oh, that's
I'm so excited.
good.
So yeah,
I love it.
yes. So that's the first
I
thing I
love
have.
it.
The second thing I have is I decided to shut down my Facebook group that's been on for about 3 to 4 years now,
Mm.
which has been available for people to come and get a lot of free information from me because I'm shifting on to a paid model. So I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
so it's starting December 5th. We're going to launch the paid model. And
Mm-hmm.
what I'm doing is telling everyone we have the Black Friday, I
Oh,
guess,
Black Friday. Hold on, Dr. Lulu.
bonanza. Yes, Black Friday bonanza. So that's going to be 50% off. So at one for 150 per month. If you join in before the end of the year, you can lock in that rate. But on January 1st, the fees will go up to the regular rate, which is at $300 per month. And just
Okay.
know that what you're paying for is not, you're not paying Dr. Lulu, you're paying for the transformation, for the community, for the resources, for the
Mm.
answers to your questions, for being able to find a safe space. Because I know that by January 20th, there'll
Mm-hmm.
be lots of, okay, January 21st, there'll be lots of weeping and gnashing of teeth of who knows
Mm-hmm.
what Donald Trump is going to, because he said on the first day he comes, he's going to be banning a lot of things. So why don't you join in now and get in now before that
Yeah.
happens, and then we start
Yeah.
like, oh my God, where are we going to go, and find community. And yeah, so it's going to be paid. I feel like I've done enough free stuff over the
Mm-hmm.
years, so it's time to monetize it. So I'm most excited
Absolutely.
about that. Most excited about
Absolutely. I am excited for you. I'm excited to see. Listen, I know January is for what it's worth. I know January is going to be a little heavy in this whole little, shifting,
it. Yeah,
but
yeah.
there's something about the new year. It brings new thought, new attitude, new opportunities, newness.
And new you, and new you, new me, new years. And and I think in a sense it's almost a good thing that the elections happen in November, so we have a little bit of time to
Time.
recover, if it makes
Yeah.
if yeah, before January. And I don't know if you saw on social media where they said they had 500 and something African Americans were sworn in as Ghanaians. Did you see that?
I did see that.
So there's already
I
mass
did see that.
exodus. Yeah, they
I
already have
did
a.
see that.
So,
And I also saw that Biden just appointed, I do believe it was 25 black federal judges. I did see
well,
that also.
good. I didn't
I
know
saw
that,
that
but
also.
about time. I mean, if it's
Yep.
true, then yes, he
Saw
needs
that
to do
also.
something before he leaves, because they said they're going to do presidential immunity. Then it's if you can't do it for one person, you have to do it for everybody. So let him do all the things he can do now. He's got plenty of time, too
Yeah.
much time
Yeah.
to pass the Equality Act and all the things that they've been cooking forever, the student
Yeah.
loans, all of that. Do it now,
Yeah.
because I don't know what's going to be happening on January
Yeah.
21st.
Yeah. No one
Which is
does, but you know what? Like I said, we it's we've always been resilient,
yeah.
and we were born into this life to be.
Hmm.
We've had enough historical experiences to know what it means to get through it, to fight through it. Now I'm not gonna promise you that I'm gonna spend the second half of my life fighting through it. Because mama gotta live life, and so does mama's child. Okay?
I
So
I might be fighting. I might be fighting for y'all from a distance.
from afar.
Yes, from a
Uh-huh.
distance. I'm
Yeah.
talking about a distance. Are we going to be able to? It looks like we might be able to record a show together from Puerto Vallarta.
Yes.
Yes,
Excited about that. I forgot we are
yes,
gonna be there on a Sunday,
yeah.
huh?
We are going to be there on a Sunday.
Oh my goodness. wait till our viewers see where we're going to be recording from.
Oh my God, it's gonna be something. Oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Cannot wait.
I can't wait. So
Oh,
Monique is out to draw blood. Monique says we need 75 more.
yes.
75 more black judges. I'm sure we can find them. I mean, we had a very qualified judge that was that. No, I don't know. It's Kamala Harris. Is she a lawyer? Is she an attorney? Yes,
uh,
right?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Not a judge,
she's
but an attorney. Very qualified attorney, went to Harvard, did all the things, and they called her a DI hire. But we have a gentleman who spent $75 million and bought a whole country for himself. This is America. This is the America of today. So it's like a joke. So yeah, I point 175 more. I don't care. Because
yeah,
I know they can find 75 more judges out there who are black, who need a job, who could use a job. So yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So the hard away 33 says, I heard it was up to 69 new judges and the majority are black women. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I don't know
Yay
who's
for
hard away,
that.
but thank you so much. The numbers keep getting higher. Thank you. Thank you so much. The hard away 33 for that beautiful comment because I didn't even know about the 25. But if we are
Yeah.
at 69, come through. I was born in 69, but also come through. Somebody, let's get up to 100. If you can get up to 69, you can get up
And
to
you know what?
100.
And you know what the great thing about it is that when things get to the federal level, which they will a lot in this administration coming in, the great thing about it is that there will be on the front lines fighting so tirelessly. So yeah, that's a great thing. Sometimes you got to wear them out.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're doing right now. We're talking as loud as we can to try to drown the noise because, first of
Hmm.
all, it's noise. Second of all, it's lies. They're not real. They're not real.
Right.
And if anything, if we didn't learn anything, we saw during the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, we saw what happened to Grinder. So we know that these people, that half of them are liars. They're all in the
Hmm.
closet. They're all queer, and they just can't live their truth. And so they want to just come for people who are living their truth. So I say to everyone who's out there, hold on and just be strong. Like
Yeah,
change is coming. Black people have known this. This is not new to us.
it's not new to us.
Yeah, it's
It's
not new
not.
to us. It's unfortunate that our children have to suffer through it. But hey, you know
Mm.
what? That's what makes them resilient. That's what makes them strong. That's what makes them powerful. And that's what makes them survive.
Yeah, we know how
So,
to roll up our sleeves.
yes,
We know how to
four
roll
years
up
will
our
go
sleeves.
fast. 4 years will go fast. It will go faster if you're doing something. It will go slower
Hmm.
if you just start crying and wearing blue bracelets up and down the place. But it will go faster if you're doing something. So
Yeah.
we are at the last 7 minutes of the show, and I'll see if anybody has any questions for me or my beautiful co-host Ellen. Otherwise, we're going to if you have any questions, otherwise, yeah, we can just continue. So, Ellen, I want to ask you about the conference that I know you're not going to be able to go, unfortunately, in January because you said you're going to be somewhere in Las Vegas. During the-
I will be in Sacramento. I will be at a state meeting for my sorority.
Yeah. So, do you have any idea, any suggestions for me? Because I want to have a parent supporting parents thing at the Creating Change conference. And for those of you who do not know, Creating Change is like the biggest LGBTQ plus conference, to my knowledge, by the LGBT National LGBTQ plus Task Force. So it's going to be
Mm.
taking place in Las Vegas in January. So if you haven't bought your tickets yet, please buy your tickets because I'm going to be there. I'm going to be presenting a workshop called Parents Supporting Parents. If you haven't guessed yet, I'm trying to trademark that terminology so I can just use it and keep holding space for parents. But Ellen, do you have any suggestions? Anything I need to tweak based on the event that you observed me present recently?
I think that you had a really wide variety of resources and panelists that was so knowledgeable, um, that really brought a lot of information, things that I didn't even know.
Mm,
And I think that's the thing. I tell people all the time that I'm constantly learning. I'm always learning. Just because I have a trans son And just because I have done much of the footwork in educating myself, there's still so much education that is needed. Oddly enough, when I was in the airport going home from Atlanta, I was sitting at the bar in PF Chang's and I was talking to, surprisingly enough, a Trump supporter. Um, and we had this conversation, and I kind of knew that he was a Trump supporter because I saw him with a little advertisement on his shirt that said Trump
No.
2024. So I went in for the kill, Dr.
I know
Lulu.
that's right. I bet you did too, because you're a mama beast. Yes.
And
What
I
did you do?
said, and I said, yeah, because he is on it. He's a person that flips planes, flips these little small planes. So he's on the show on Paramount Plus, whatever. And I said, yeah, I was here doing some documentary work myself. And he said, really? What kind? And I said, documentary on trans children,
Mm-hmm.
supporting trans children, particularly Black trans children. So we went into this whole conversation. And the one thing that really, again, really took me aback when he said, well, I'm a Trump guy myself. And I said, oh, well, that's interesting.
Snap, snap.
And he said, and I don't have anything. I don't have anything against trans people. But when you start to have them in sports, I just got a problem with a man punching a woman or a man competing with a woman. And I said, so here's a little education for you. Many
Mm-hmm.
people don't know this, but did you know that trans women, when they take hormonal replacement therapy or estrogen shots, what have you, do you know that decreases their body mass, their body muscle mass? Did you know that?
Yeah. And it approaches cisgender women's levels.
And he didn't know. And I said, and so this is why we have these conversations, because a lot of
Yeah.
people don't know. And the fear mongering that happens is based on people who are not thoroughly educated.
Period. Period. But I think even taking it to the next level, if I obviously it wouldn't be me and him, but if it was me and him,
I
I
know,
would
because
ask
you're the
him.
doctor. I was like, where's doctor? I was about to call you on FaceTime, girl.
It's not even about that. It's funny. It's funny. That's a good question, but I don't talk about hormones as much as possible. I try to avoid. I talk about the humans as much as possible, which is the other age. And I would have asked him if I would have asked him how many trans women he knows are in sports.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Even the state of Utah, that was very notorious for being the first to pass the law or whatever, only 3 kids in the entire state. 3. And it's not, the attack is not trans boys, you see, it's
Right.
trans
It's
girls.
trans women, trans girls.
The attack. So there's a lot of angles we can come from it. So just like the
Yeah.
woman about the bathroom, why are you worried about someone who is trans, who has no history of sexual assault, but you're romancing your co-workers who are all documented sexual assault felons, you know?
Right. Who
So
has some sexual misconduct
yes,
in their
exactly.
file.
Exactly. So I mean, there's just so many ways to attack it. But it is what it is. I wanted to end the show on a very high positive note. For those of you who follow Sade Adu or Sade Adu's trans son on Instagram, you will have seen that he posted about his mom's new
Mm-hmm.
song for him today. And we're all giving him so much love. Sade Adu's son is Isaac. Y'all go find Isaac. I think it's pronounced Isaac, I think. Go find him, follow him on Instagram, follow his mama, my girl, Sade Adu, which she's going to come on this show someday. I'm speaking it up to existence right now.
Listen, I'm telling you, when she goes in the concert, we are there.
We're going to be there. We have to.
We have
There's
to
no
be.
way I'm going to go wherever she's going to go. I'm going to go. If it's in the US anyway, we're going to go. We're going to go together because I want her to see us
Oh,
and take
no.
pictures with
If
us.
she has a show outside the country, I'm going.
Oh, well, that too. That too. I'm retired, right? I have a lot of free time. So that too. But listen, it has been amazing, always amazing to just hang out with this, my sister from another Mr., as she said today.
Yes.
So beautiful. Her name is Ellen. So demure, so mindful. My name is Dr. Lulu. even just as demure and just as mindful. And together we are the Mama Beast, and we truly don't give a fuck. We're coming for
Don't.
you and your ignorance, regardless. And we're going to help. We have a lot of help. We had Monique today, and then
Yes,
Jane
Monique.
today.
Woo.
We had a bunch of people from Instagram. I was giving all of y'all a hi, holla. There was Lucky, there's Lily, there's Texas Black 1966, there's Hardaway, Old Town Counseling. Keontae McKinney is my mentee. Katrin, Doll, I Exam, Chanel, Shay, all of y'all. We want to give all of y'all so many flowers today. Thank you for
Yes.
joining us. Please follow the show on
Mm-hmm.
Apple and on YouTube and leave us a comment. And if your comment is homophobic, guess what? I'll delete you and I'll block you. So long, farewell. We'll see y'all next Sunday. Ellen, what you want to say?
Listen, be good to yourself. Take care of your mental health, and we'll see y'all next week.
Amen. And we're the Mama Beast, and we are
Out.
out. Bye. Ellen, that was good. That was really good.
That was good.
That was amazing.